for reference during the meeting, if you guys could speak enunciate as much as you can into the microphones.
Okay, sure.
As well, because they're kind of funky in terms of how much they can actually pick up the sound online or find out. So
Sure. Yours isn't lit. The green light isn't on.
Because I'm not gonna talk right now.
Oh.
You can turn it off, I'll turn it on.
All right. Kind of wanted to hear your voice, but okay.
No, it's just common. These two
Oh, okay.
places, not something like that.
Maria, could you check in with them? We'll now start the formal meeting for the Architectural Review Board, March 25th, 2026. Let Commissioner Sanchez get situated. Thank you. Once again, make sure all phones are silenced and are silent. Okay, the first item on the agenda is roll call.
Buzz Riley.
Robert Myers.
Linda Sanchez.
Okay, let's see here. We have minutes for January and February to review. I believe we've had a chance to review the minutes. Any thoughts, questions, comments, any issues with the legal counsel with the last minutes? Is there a motion to approve those minutes?
I'll make a motion to approve the minutes. I second.
All in favor? Aye. First item 3.1 is a new public hearing, 500 East Sanford Boulevard, section 169.42. In the CV Business District, the board has received an affidavit of signed posting. The owner is Doug Ramsey. Is Ms. Ramsey present? Represented by, please say your name. Joan Zhang. And JD Design, the lead design professional. The subject property is East Sanford Boulevard. The applicant is requesting a certificate of appropriateness for an exterior sign package for the new Fun City Adventure Park tenant, replacing the former Bed Bath & Beyond tenant. That includes the following four signs: one over the storefront facing East Sanford Boulevard, one over the attached parking garage also facing East Sanford Boulevard, one atop the tower in the commercial complex facing East Sanford Boulevard, and one on the wall facing the Hutchinson River Parkway in line with the other signage for the businesses, including in the existing East Sanford Boulevard commercial complex. Are you ready to make your presentation? There's an easel here if needed, and whatever samples you have, you could obviously use the table there. You explain your application to the board. I'm sorry, please state your name and address. Okay, and who you're with.
I'm with Constant. We have four signs placed in the original.
Tell us about the sign, materials.
Yeah, so we have the materials we have. Aluminum. That's the base. Plate in the back. Aluminum. Inside.
So all four signs are identical?
Yes. It's just the size is different.
Those are your brand colors.
No, it's not the colors. It would just be white.
So if I could stop here, this is very frustrating. I have no idea what you're showing.
Oh, so this is the front. This is the face. This is the
But you're
side.
telling me that's not the color.
assume there's a green color.
The green color should feel like it'll be lit up.
Say that, oh, the color
Yeah,
would be the light.
yeah.
Got you. Okay, so in the daytime, obviously, with no light, it'll all be white.
It'll still be lit.
It'll still be lit up
Yeah, it'll still be lit up. I
Continuous.
don't think you'll see this one.
as much
Yeah.
as you would in the evening.
Yeah.
And I'm assuming these are going in the same location as the Bed Bath and Beyond
Yeah.
signage was on Four Places.
Yeah, we're just taking down the old one.
So these are all individual letters that are made.
Yes.
And it looks like it's on a track, this black, piece here.
Yep. So,
Right.
It's maintaining all guidelines set by the management of 500 East Township.
yes.
Do you have another location that's, anywhere in the country?
Yeah.
Where?
Couple, well, we have a couple in England, that's not open in California.
Do you have an address?
Yes.
Sorry, it's taking a second.
Okay.
That was 82.
So, TAUN, TON. Depot.
In Massachusetts.
Yeah.
Is that an existing?
Yeah, that one's existing. That one's been open for 2 years now.
The signage there?
Do you have signage there?
Yes, yeah, it's the same thing.
Okay. Does anybody have any concerns? Bill? No concerns? Their motion to approve as submitted? All in favor?
I double.
What was that?
Second.
Okay, all in favor, aye. Thank you. Your application is approved. New public hearing, 3.2, 20 Southwest Street, section 164.67, in the Mount Vernon West, POD MVW-H zoning district. Our board has received an affidavit of signed posting along with photographs. The owner is Joseph Apicella. Did I say that correct? Oh, bless him. Of McQuestion Station Takeover LLC, represented by Lawless and Mangione Architects and Engineers. The subject property, the applicant is requesting a certificate of appropriateness to construct a 13-story tower on podium, mixed-use building with 100 residential units, 2,635 square feet of commercial space, 7 parking spaces, and a 48,000 810 square foot parking garage with 73 residential spaces. I believe there is a letter to read into record. Let's do that. Let's do that now.
Want me to read it?
Yeah.
Okay.
This is a letter from,
Letters from Amelia Zeno, 20 William Street, Mount Vernon, New York, 10552. Dear Chair Myers, I am writing this letter to urge the Architectural Review Board to encourage the developers of 20 Southwest Street to consider the history of their property and their design by preserving, at the very least, the historic New York Central Railroad sign that currently flanks the Mount Vernon West Station building. I appreciate that the project will include photographs and a plaque, but preserving pieces of the building should be considered. The Mount Vernon West Station building as it stands today was completed between 1915 and 1917. It is one of the few historic station buildings remaining in Westchester County. White Plains demolished theirs, but Yonkers kept their station intact. While the building was sold long ago and subdivided into retail and commercial spaces, its facade is historic and significant and should be preserved in some way, despite the construction of 20 Southwest Street. The station was designed by the architectural firm of Warren and Wedmore, the same firm that worked on Grand Central Terminal. It was designed in the Neo-Italian Renaissance style. The notable architectural elements of the station include its red brick facade with limestone trim, and the sgraffito panel on the front reads New York Central Railroad, flanked by the caducei and winged wheels, two symbols of transportation. Smaller stations such as Scarsdale and Hartsdale did not get as significant of buildings. Mount Vernon earned a notable station because of its rapid growth and importance as a city. To eliminate the character of this station would be to ruin something erected to celebrate the city. As the city grows and new development is built, we must be careful not to have the area lose its character and history. Elements of the station, such as the sgraffito panel, should be incorporated into the plan for the new building. I thank you for your time and consideration. Sincerely, Amelia Zeno.
thank you. You're ready to hear your presentation.
Madam Chair,
And state your name.
Joseph Apicella, I'm one of the principals and one of the owners of the Weston Development Team. In this particular entity, I'm the managing member. I'm joined by our attorney, Diane Fuller, with the law firm of DeBello, Feinberg, Wise Literature. Also joined by Bill DeCosta, who's our project architect, as well as George Matthews, who's right behind that chart. This project is one of the most significant projects the city of Mount Vernon has undertaken in many, many decades. Because, and we're going to talk about the design, but I'll just give you a brief overview. This project is a 100-unit for-sale condominium. There has not been new for-sale condominiums built in this city or in the county, for that matter, in decades. And we've decided to do this in a way that makes it affordable. This is an all-affordable, 80% of average median income project. The hope is that this can create some generational wealth for families that might buy these units rather than just a rent receipt at the end of the month. They have some equity, they have some value. The expedited review committee was charged with reviewing this project, environmental impact, and the site plan as well. That group includes every one of the city's department heads, from buildings to engineering to DPW. They've all reviewed this project and they've given it a thumbs up to move forward to site plan approval, which is before the city council. We've made 2 presentations before the city council. We expect to have a 3rd presentation in the next month. There are a couple of issues relating to open space that the city council would like to see or community benefit. We're working on that along with the mayor and council members to satisfy that need. My company has been developing and owning properties in the city of Mount Vernon for over 4 decades. And so we have deep roots in the community. The owners, including myself, live here in Westchester. We're not from some company that's foreign or overseas or anything else. We're local people who take an interest in what we build. We're waiting for the circulation of the environmental review. It's being circulated. The city council has asked to become lead agency on this project. And Dan, did you want to say something?
Yeah, there is a environmental impact statement for this entire area that adopted as part of the transport development, so city council has that
I will tell you that in the environmental impact statement was a review of the nature of this building from a historic standpoint, and it has been determined, we received the determination.
Right, so the state historic office.
I'm
Nor
sorry,
is
could you repeat that?
It is not eligible under the state, under the state historic preservation. It's not a historic building inherently, and it's not on the National Register or the state register, and it's not eligible for any of those designations, notwithstanding the letter the individual provided.
I'm curious, and I don't mean to take you off on a tangent,
okay.
but why is it not eligible?
You have to ask.
I just wanted to, so we did submit, consultant here at environmental. Which talks about the fact that there have been so many changes to that over the years, that it has, that the value of that.
No, that I'm familiar with, and you're right. There you go, it's probably a great way to say it.
It's a nice way to put it, I don't know. But there's an old piece and then there's a new piece of it. The building is chopped up, it's not ADA compliant. We renovated it, as you may know, on an emergency basis. The mayor at the time was Mayor Sean Patterson Howard, came to me and said, we need a firehouse right away. Our building's being condemned, can you help? And we, with our staff, built out the upper floors, dormitory space for the firefighters, and the kitchen space. Of course, every fire department has to have a proper kitchen. So we built out the kitchen downstairs, and then we had to temporarily put in place a Quonset hut, because the apparatus, which you see in front, which is unsightly, has to be in a closed facility, because those trucks are diesel. And during cold weather, they would seize. So we did all that in a 4-month period. And on a temporary basis, they've been leasing the space from us. The city is now looking at other locations as we speak. As part of this project, it's a coordinated effort. We have given notice to our tenants that are in place, including 7-Eleven, their attorneys, about our intention to clean up the site. This is also a brownfield cleanup project under the state Department of Environmental Conservation has deemed this to be an environmental cleanup, predominantly because we had a tube and die facility there, and there's contamination in the soil vapor and the like. And so we will be cleaning up the site quite literally, demolishing the old, frankly, dilapidated building. Our intention is, however, to preserve, and architect will go into greater detail, preserve some of those elements that are significant. I won't use the term historic, but they are significant. And our intention is to work with the city to put them on display, both in the lobby where appropriate of our building, as well as potentially in the public library facility. So we would like to do that because business of eviscerating anything that might be significant or sensitive. We don't want to do that at all. But the building itself is dilapidated, to say the least. That's a problem here. So we're in the process of doing this. I would like to tell you that we are hoping to fast track this project and begin the demolition in the next several months. We're going to go back to the city council in about 30 days after the environmental impact statement has been circulated to all the interested and involved agencies. And at that point, we'll be in a position to ask them for final site plan approval. Before that can happen, we need your support and your letter of memorandum of appropriateness on this. I would like to formal presentation. Bruno.
I'm Victor Santiago, Joe Lustig, architect, and what I'd like to do is kind of go back and forth a little bit, just so board is given proper explanation, format and all that. So I may actually go back to drawing and screening. That's okay. So basically, what we have here on the screen are the existing image. So you can see these photos are labeled. You know, first shown the upper left is the existing 22 building, which you see, and the other next one is a little bit further away, down street on West Street. And in the corner right is the photo that shows the back end of the building that is towards the MTA North entrance, which has a photo from down the street. This one here is adjacent to down towards 20. Course, that's another photo here to the right, bottom, which is the actual south entrance into the MTA actually has two entrances, one in the north and one south, which is cradled by cradles all that. So if you look here, this is our basic mass. We have color renderings, which will show you how it actually looks. But right now, this is which is basically 13 stories with one level floor. So there's one level low grade, and upper, second floor, which is all garage. We have a lobby. This is the second lobby at the next level for garage entrance, and a third level, which is amenities level. The amenities level is where we actually have the meeting room, we have the gym, we have actually storage for every single unit, one for every unit. And we also have the management office here, or the sales office. And, you know, those are amazing. And also, you have a terrace area on the podium. This building, as required by the code, is to have a podium, which is a larger structure, base with the tower above, which is what we have done. It's actually a really great element that the zone has to require that. Now, we'll get into a little bit of the colors and the materials as we go along, but George will actually, my colleague here will go over actual color samples with you all. And we have actually an interesting effect that we're trying to create in this building. Now, the building here actually, in essence, is a little smaller than 22. One of the reasons for that is that building was given credit for increased density. This one here is not asking for any increased density. We're actually capped at 100. The reason why we're capped at 100 at this level is because the program, the state program, doesn't allow us to go more than 100 for the country. That's where we're at this level. You could go maybe
By the way, if we were the developers of the adjoining building, we were before you, like years ago, was, for the same, approval.
And I had to. Nice, jumping around, so here's actually our rendering, which shows 22 background. Which our building down here at the corner of Mount Vernon Avenue and Southwest. It's actually a prominent corner, it's a really excellent, beautiful corner, which I think would be that retail store there. Coffee shop, maybe another 7-Eleven, maybe a Starbucks, things like that. Would be very active and actually be a nice element to create a lot of activity on the corner, which I think this location needs. Of course, it's also going to be complemented by the activity at the train station. I think once you see the amenities that we're actually creating at the train station, you can also understand that this really a good public as well as private. So I'm going to get into that. This here is a segment consistent. Of course, you have the metal structure of the fire against the fab trucks. Now we have this one above the front. Sometimes problem is in front of that track. So anyway, all this coming down. The north entrance is here. South entrance is along here. So like an alleyway, dark alleyway. They continue to what we have done with that. So here, kind of a diagrammatic site for me. What we're doing here. This year, we actually separated a little bit attached. The detail building, it's a residential structure. But they're connected above and below. Right now, in terms of the street level, they're separate. So what we have here is an entrance to the parking lot where the detail is separated. Must be separated. They cannot be secure spaces mixed in with the we actually have spaces as sorry, 6. They have 6, 7 good in the chain. And we have this large area here, which is our refuge shore. We have ample space for retaining our refuse, plenty of facility for our refuse, for residential recycling, including for the retail recycling and also refuse. I think that probably have recycling. So what you see here, you have the historic entrance here. On here is the lobby entrance to the building, garage entrance to the garage. We have here the northwest is the little pocket park. We actually created a little park to satisfy some of the requirements that the city council had. We didn't really fully have it, but we gave a great intent for quality, very good quality. This is an element that actually is for public, but also complements the on here, we have this front mount, actually going to be filled with trellis. You can see it in this photo. Now we're going to show you another drawing. We actually have some renderings here. Can you pull that up? Actually, just go expand out of the menu of it. But okay, this here actually is good for rendering. Park there to the side, and we have the empty. this, north entrance mentioned before, and, over to the left here, that's what it looks like now. Go up a little bit. So here, see, that's the alleyway that the south entrance is using right now. Right, that's what we're gonna have when we're done. Right now, we show kind of like a wood grain look, but I think we might prefer to use the white, white color, because it'll be more reflective and be brighter and more lighting. So these trellises will have lighting. So in other words, when you're walking through it, it'll be actually very bright. And you're gonna actually have, formula along there. And I think also would be complementary some artifacts from the train station. So if you find, let's say, a sign or a capital piece of base of a column or something, maybe we can incorporate it into the promenade.
How long is that run?
So,
How long?
oh,
is
that's
that
the
run?
entire site. So I think we'll, yeah. So you have a lot of room for artifacts, but of course you don't want to
Overdo it,
you don't
yeah.
want to overdo it. So. But also we had a conversation about creating a plaque with some historic photos. Probably better to find something from 1915, 1917, 1918, rather than something that from. So,
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
yes.
It is a really good opportunity to tell a story, especially train stations, people are waiting. It'd be a good idea to find out what the original building looked like and literally tell a story. While it may not be significant, because, not to say that it's not significant to be in the historic register, it's been altered, so therefore it's not eligible. Those are two different things. But it's certainly part of the city story.
Yeah.
And I think articulating that on that, and certainly there's enough space
Yes.
between the wall and certainly maybe in the pocket park as well, to tell a story and be really thoughtful about what's used image-wise, material-wise, and artifact-wise.
Yeah, we've had conversations, but we don't have any sense.
Just sharing,
But
yeah,
we
yeah.
appreciate that, and I think that's all good, and I think, match it in some ways.
Yeah, we'd like to see that.
Excuse me.
Yes, sir.
I wanted to say, Madam Chair, that part of the reason we're here also, not just to get a letter of appropriateness, but to get your ideas. I don't have all the ideas, nor do I profess to have the ideas. So if you've got some good, any of the board members, or public for that matter, have some good ideas, we're happy to do it. I will share with you that we're in conjunction with this, it's a major transit hub. Particular time, it doesn't have the ridership it should have because it's so unattractive. Because it's a dark alleyway that you wouldn't want your mom going through at 9 o'clock at night. So, and we're working with the MTA as well. We've had several conference calls with them and their staff and their engineers. Because as I said to them, while the condominium association, we put together an offering plan like any condo. The condo association is going to manage the complex, the security of the access to your product. This is how I put it. Your product, which is the transportation, needs to be secured. Last time I looked, you have a police precinct, Metro North Police Precinct, 50 feet away across the street. You think you can get an officer or two to do foot patrol from the south entrance to the north entrance and vice versa, particularly in the evenings. So these are the things we're working with them on. Of course, they put their hands up in the air immediately and said, oh, we don't have the money. I said, well, they're right across the street. You know, this station, frankly, has been neglected for 50 years. White Plains, Scarsdale, and we go on, have been renovated to the tune of $50 and $60 million in capital improvements. Both the mayor, your state senator, myself, we've been on calls with them about renovating the station. And that should be done, should have been done a long time ago. So we're gonna make The access point is attractive. But we're looking for cooperation from the FTA to maintain and secure it, particularly if we're gonna do things like you're talking about, you're gonna have artifacts and other things. I don't want graffiti, I don't wanna have pilferage, I don't wanna have, problems.
Where does it stand now? Are they more responsive and are they?
Not yet. Perfectly honest, not yet.
They did also be, that's the.
They've given us 3 meetings and we continue to work on it, let's put it that way. And my response was, when they said, you know, we're dealing with that budget, I said,
Who is it?
what, I said, what, yeah. And I said, what happened to the, you know, the money from Lower Manhattan with the, that we were supposed to get for that, the Lower Manhattan adjustment pricing. So that was.
Panacea?
That's like, yeah. Anyway, I don't want to.
Yeah, let's,
I don't want to belabor, but I want you to know everything.
sure.
I can know the whole thing.
Sure.
So if I could throw in one thing, I think highlighting the history of Mount Vernon Station and the city is a great idea, but I think you also, if you want to create a kinetic space, that you have an opportunity to engage with local organizations, art organizations, to put in rotating art, to get them in, so that you've got them going in and out, and that there's activity in.
And any suggestions, doesn't have to be right here or now, if you think about it later on. My card, please feel free to call.
As well. So, facade-wise, our homes, actually structured, but when it comes to books, shit, that we have, panels that can be hard surface panels, base here, hard panels. See the actual samples in there, George has that one. So here, along the tower's gonna be very energy efficient, so in terms of these have to go to that. They actually have to use step system, very hard system. And we articulated to create this sort of grid pattern. And the samples are actually better than this photo rendering, but you'll see. And we have this sort of a tropical gray color for the those very popular color today. Array of blue colors for cabins and cobblestones. That would be so first we have color chart and describes what you in terms of other amenities on this building, we also have an main roof deck. So besides this terrace above, we actually have the entire roof. Then it has spots of green. Maybe very up on having some green areas, so we really by creating some areas of green space. So we have some plantings there, some we're gonna have paved. We're gonna actually trellises up there too. So so you can see we have these little green spots along the green trees with them. Smart trellis here. We're gonna create an area for outdoor, sitting and dining in the should be able to cultivate views, which you so that's one of the you'll see also from the render, you see a train coming right by. I think that's kind of cool. Sort of coming out of feels like it's coming out of the building in a sense. So I think that's pretty fun. So it's a great opportunity for us building that will complement this whole thing. And, that's pretty much it with regard to the facade and all that. And of course, going to the here and such.
I just wanted to add that in terms of sustainability, all the buildings we build now are above the LEED standard. There has passive house.
Yes.
So this is going to be I don't know if you have other buildings that are passive house new in Mount Vernon, but this will be a passive house building, the highest level of sustainability. And we have a consultant on it specifically for the sustainability efforts. And will be working with us on all of this. All of these materials work well with passive house. We've used it before. We're building a passive house, senior housing project on Crook Avenue in Austin right now. Drive by there, to provide these buildings, about 50% complete, but that's also passive housing design. And so we want to make this the highest quality. The project's $130 million project, so we wanted that. It's going to have our name on it, our reputation, the city's reputation. We want it to be something that is iconic. When you look at that building, you're going to say, "Wow!" And we want it to be that way. We really do.
I have a question in regards to the type of approach buildings at a height where birds fly. I'm sure you know where I'm going in terms of there being a material for the glass mitigating birds flying into the buildings.
This is not an old glass building, which is very typical for that sort of situation. This does not reflect the glass. You know,
So
it's
there's not
really-
enough glass on the building for that to be a concern, is what you're saying?
Oh, yes, I don't think so.
We actually spoke to the real people, and they have a product that is bird resistant.
So that's no,
It attracts
Thank
them, seeing themselves in it. That's what happens.
yeah,
You can't
that's
see
a
another
big-
bird and think,
it's a big
It's
issue.
ironic because we had the same issue with Yonkers. We're about going to break ground at another building, high rise, and we're right on the Van Cortlandt Park border.
As the
And so
flag patterns for the birds.
people were concerned about that, so we had to put in, thank you, George,
Yeah,
that tempered glass. And so
that's-
it doesn't create that environment because there's plenty of wildlife at the Van
Yeah.
Cortlandt Park.
yeah, it's really important.
It's a great point.
that's very important on that location. So, I'll have George explain the colors and all that to you. Moving around, so you can touch and feel them. But the main thing to understand is these panels here are display panels, and we have very high power value along with the value of the interior of the walls.
Prior to colors, can you explain how the lighting is everything to everything? Tell me how the lighting will be, how it will perform over the course of dusk, evening, and how the building will look.
We haven't gotten into the detail of that yet, but the building will be lit in terms of, having some sort of attractive, element. So it'll be nice, but it could also be lit as time goes on, along the night, that sort of thing. We have to
So that hasn't been fine tuned
That
yet.
hasn't been fine yet, but also the canopy systems are also that high energy efficient. What we're doing with it, which is something that's not really that common right now, but it's going to be more so soon, is the heat recovery system. So it's still this level here, the upper level. Canopy system will capture all the heat that comes from your bathroom source and your kitchen. Use that heat, bring it back down into the building to the walls and the chairs. So it saves a lot of time. High energy efficiency, so you really have to do the envelope and what's the line, high efficient breeze and all that sort of thing. You can't really get better than what we have.
Is there sound mitigation with the materials?
Yeah, so it'll let us.
Okay.
With the lighting, we did, present in our package some lighting, some street lighting, some wall pack lighting.
Yep.
But I believe where the parking garages are, these panels are exposed. Like, probably on that, like, the building that you see here, from
it's industrial, right?
That's industrial.
That's where the rule applies. Obviously, you can't have too much.
No, for
information
sure, because birds also migrate.
Right. So it's a catch 22.
You can't go back. So,
And yet the corridors around the building, thankfully will be well lit, that we have.
Yeah,
and
Yeah.
many actually have windows, so if you're gonna look down, oh, I'm gonna have windows instead of, dark.
Can I ask a question regarding, parking? So is the parking private or is it
For the
public?
buildings,
It's only for the residents?
Correct.
Yes.
So the 73 parking,
and they're parking on that.
and there's 7 spaces for commercial. So merchants will also be using those spaces. So, okay, is that the amount allowable? Or
Actually,
is that require special improvement for the
We- we
71
have
if
one
you
more
have
truck.
100?
we have one overall space that was required.
is there, do you promote, biking, how are
Oh,
you
Yeah, we left
incorporating?
that out.
And that's coming up next.
We have bike racks inside the actual itself, residence, that are parked up.
And EV chargers
And
for
the
the
restaurants.
5, as required by the state. And we also have EV bike charging instead of bringing that to the apartment, create dangerous conditions inside the apartment.
And you can give Lucas credit for all that.
Yes.
During the environmental review process,
Yeah.
he told us we need to include that. And we did.
May I ask how many, was 100 units, correct? What is the breakdown of a, Studio.
60 studios, 31s, and 10, I know there are 10 3 bedrooms. So we have
10
60, 30, and 60 of them, 30 and 1.
10
10
3.
of it.
10 3. Thank you.
It's the next ratio.
The name of this program, by the way, is called the AHOP program. It's new. The State of New York Housing Community Renewal created this program to incentivize developers and communities like us together to build for sale housing and make it affordable. And we went through, I don't want to bore you with all this, it's not why we're here, it's not even to purview, but the 1 bedroom, 2 bedrooms, and 3 bedrooms range in price from $270 some odd thousand only up to $300 some odd thousand, well below any pricing you would see on anything brand new in the marketplace today. But they incentivize us to do it with this new program. You can't go above 100 units. That's the key.
I do like the idea of the condos.
Yeah.
Because it's been a very long time since condos or opportunity was offered for maybe first-time home buyers as an entry. And that's been a challenge, so I'm happy to see that condominiums are being built.
It's 35 years. That was my question.
And there's so many young people that are looking, the rents are so high. Yeah, I just had, not just as an aside, just had that conversation with my daughter in the park. Rent, she's simply out, rents to the roof, and all she's doing is getting a rent receipt. She's paying, $1,900 a month.
Now
It's horrible.
we're gonna move things along.
Go ahead. So-
Long agenda.
These are the materials that will be for the base of the building. So fiber cement panel, limestone color, and this would be the accent. The entrance.
The entrance will act as a floor, so that's why we created some color there.
These 2 colors would be these colors, will be base. Same there, for the above portion. Cream color.
the lattice is metal, so trellis.
Then,
The trellis would be
Well, trellis is,
composite material, something like this. The process of bricks.
when
And
the
I'm sorry, the inset panels are metal.
Those are metal,
Metal.
yes, those are.
Those are colorized as well. Yeah, okay. But it's gonna
Well,
match.
copper colors that match that.
Like a vegetation sort of thing, you know. Very, and you can still see through it. The transparency is very, still see through and have a little bit of mess, you know, a little bit of cars on the fourth line street, you know. But from inside, you can see out.
There's a lot of hardscape in the street level. Is there any opportunity where there's sidewalk depth, put large planters and maybe some greenery in those planters just to soften things up and make it more welcoming? It
We
just,
actually,
it feels a little
We would put stuff
hard.
in front of the entryway.
Well, for sure, but I mean,
The
around
sidewalk
the,
is so short though.
it's
tough.
that's why I asked, do you
So it's
have
only
the depth?
5, 6 feet.
Do you have the depth going down towards
We
the,
we should be able to put street trees on this.
okay, And
we could
planters?
Possibly put planters there.
Is it a standard? Is it,
Sidewalk is about 15, 20.
I strongly recommend that.
also the entrance, the residential entrance does have recess and we do have.
Any opportunity you have
Yes.
for that
We,
is
yeah,
going to
we
really,
agree.
really make the, warm the
Otherwise, it's just
the
concrete.
project up. Yeah,
And of course, we had the park at the other end, so that gives you a little bit, there, and of course, walkway south does have some.
one other thought regarding procuring tenants. Are you guys actively curating in a way to see, to engender the experience that residents will have in terms of who will occupy the storefronts? Is there anybody you're courting for any of the retail spaces that you'd like to see occupy those retail spaces? Because that will set the tone for everything, as we all know.
Well, yes, but I'm shaking my head because we are in discussions with some higher end coffee and retail shops that would not only complement the residential units, then we can have about 275 people in this building. 300.
That need basic services, dry cleaning,
Dry cleaning, well, yes.
you know what I mean.
I know what you mean.
Yeah,
Services, they're gonna need coffee, they're gonna need fruits and vegetables,
Yeah.
newspaper,
yeah,
basics, but
Yeah.
so are the commuters.
Yeah.
This is a mixed use,
Yeah.
and the transit oriented site, the very meaning of it.
yeah.
but
So,
This is it,
so you will be, On that.
100%.
okay,
They have a couple of candidates,
okay,
but,
yeah. And markets in terms of, you know,
fresh
listen,
markets,
absolutely,
fresh
okay.
market,
But it's only 2,600 square feet.
that's it. And if,
Do what you
some
can.
Some members of the council had their way, not zero. So, because they just want open space, so I'm fighting to keep the 20, it was larger, I had to cut it down. Not because of zoning, not because of it, but because
Okay,
they want to see more open space. I'm balancing everybody's needs,
sure.
you know?
Are you looking across the street to buy that property and develop
It
it?
was recently sold,
Was it really?
yes, right, Bruno? We know the people that purchased it, that's another long story, I won't think of it.
Good,
No,
thank
it's-
you.
Because I know that
I'm
area.
afraid.
I've driven through there and that is the one, there's a lot of residential going up over here. And there's no services.
Yeah, that's a concern, but I know that's
You have to go to Yonkers.
our own conversation.
But I think if
It's
you
an
create
internal
it, when you create this, you create the demand for that.
Yeah,
Let's hope so.
Yeah.
Let's hope so.
thank you. Are we to make a motion tonight? Is that our requirement here? To make a motion to approve with some of the notes and conditions that, Lucas, do you want to recap? please?
Yeah, so it would be good if you're ready to vote on the appropriateness with or without conditions, that would be good. Also, if you could, as a separate matter, regardless of whether you do that, you could just take a quick vote to not object to the city council assuming the agency for the
Right.
environmental review.
Right.
They circulated the lead agency notice
Yeah, I saw
notification
that.
a couple days ago,
Yeah.
so it would just be helpful to them if you
Yeah.
said that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because we obviously would like to see incorporated some of the things that we mentioned, that they were obviously, they're considering before making a formal motion, correct? Or we are to make a formal motion tonight for the application.
Well, I was a little confused, so you said, you're saying that you want,
Are we making a formal, are we to make a formal motion tonight for the application?
if you feel that you're ready. Yeah.
Yeah, I think I'd like to see them come back with the iterations of the ideas, et cetera, but if we have to vote, pardon?
Sorry, I was just thinking that if it's, in turn, but it's possible to make these conditions of approval that we could then, have staff review to ensure that these things are.
Well, our problem is with the state, we have a certain time, and I believe you only meet once a month, is that correct? Yes. Yeah, and that would be even after potentially the next council meeting, so it's a little tight, so I'm happy to incorporate all of your suggestions. I just would like you to see if we can move this.
If you guys will, forward to us when they make their submissions and ensure that everything that we requested as conditions are addressed.
Okay.
I understand the time.
So for the conditions, can we go over them?
Yes,
So
let's
I can make
please.
sure that I have them exact, how do you want? Yeah, no,
I thought you were taking
no,
notes.
I was, but like, I would prefer to get, yeah.
Okay, what notes do you have? Let's start there. I know we discussed, telling more of a story and
Right.
that,
Yeah, so how would you like me to say that? Because I have in my notes that, there needs to be some kind of, what the building used to look like, to tell a story to those who are.
She has the notes, you want to go over them?
yes.
Yeah.
Elements to tell a story.
Of the station.
Yeah.
So historic elements must be incorporated, to tell the story of the history of the building, of the train station.
Station,
Right.
yeah.
Or local history,
Or
et
local
cetera.
history,
I would
yeah.
not be so
Yeah.
specific.
Yeah.
And I think
So-
you mentioned that was appropriate.
Correct.
Buzz also mentioned
Connection.
incorporating local artists
Okay, so,
into the design, if you will, of the public space, both on the south and north borders. We can look at both.
okay, so,
It's a good idea.
okay, can you say that
Some
again?
of these signposts.
So this is, incorporate, public art,
Work with local artists
work
and
with,
historians. You have a historian.
Same maybe as yours.
perhaps. So work with local,
Pretty well.
work with local artists and historians to, incorporate public art into the,
Accessible spaces. And I think we were also talking about.
Yes.
Ensure that bird-resistant glass is included in the design elements of the building. the recommendations that
Yeah.
the chair and the board. have made.
And also planters that are outside of the street.
Right, recommendation to work with the city to
Soften the
incorporate
house.
planters and shade trees where
Possible,
possible.
wherever possible.
Wherever possible.
We would like to see a more detailed lighting, of the lighting, actually.
We can provide a lighting package to you, such that.
What about the lighting again? You want the lighting to?
Yeah, we'd like to see the lighting, a full lighting package.
Lighting, full lighting package must be sent. That's your final. Yeah, I don't have anything else. Yeah.
Great. So is there a motion to approve based on,
The only issue that I have is, the concern raised that the applicant is seeking the certificate of appropriateness denied. Now, issues that were overlaid here are aspiration. That would be my interpretation. One issue, the lighting package. The applicant would have to come back and submit a lighting package, and obviously we develop issued certificate of appropriateness. So maybe we can frame that condition to at least address the concerns that the board has. And at the same time, allow us to issue a certificate of appropriateness tonight. I think the applicant indicated that this is a still correct.
It's a exit house.
It's a
It's
Okay, so I'm assuming then that would satisfy any concerns about lighting. So maybe we might be able to frame that in an app that could address the board's concerns and at the same time address the applicant's concerns that we can issue a certificate of appropriateness tonight with that overlay condition.
yeah, I understand. Yeah. Yeah, I'm thinking. Well, I think what I initially, you see the street lights, I didn't really see, well, obviously there's some details, in the packet as far as, lighting on the building, the address numbers are lit. I guess I was wondering, the upper floors, are there any lighting elements on that aspect of the building? No.
Just no base.
Okay. Okay.
It's pretty much gonna look like.
So for the lighting package, then
Yeah.
how should I say it?
Don't, say lighting package.
Okay.
Yeah, consistent with passive, construction.
Okay, so exterior lighting
Yes.
shall be,
Consistent. with,
shall be consistent with passive house standards. That's on there.
Okay.
If the board could just take a quick vote, no objection, the city council, assuming they, that way, that way they're not held up.
Okay, let's take a vote. Are there any, objections to the city council being a lead agency? Okay, any for? Aye? Aye. Aye.
Thank you.
So you're
I'll
welcome.
send them a memo to that effect.
You're very welcome. So let's make a motion to approve the application with conditions set forth. Is there a motion?
I will make a motion to approve with conditions set forth.
Is there a second? All in favor? Aye. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Good luck.
Thank you so much.
Thank you for your patience, room. 3.3155 Union Avenue, section 165.79, neighborhood business district. The board has received an affidavit of signed posting. The owner is Covilco Realty LLC, represented by Carlos Strieber, as well as Peter Klein. The applicant is requesting a certificate of appropriateness to place 2 new exterior wall signs on the front and one side of the building facade. Is that applicant here? Okay, please come forward. State your name and your affiliate for the record.
Signs and Buildings LLC.
Tell us about your application.
Applying for a sign or pair of signs to decorate a liquor store. And the signs are very simple. This is the front of the store, there's 16-inch pictures and they're channels, which are LED. So, you all see that?
Oh, yeah.
Okay. This is a better picture of the same side. This is the flag store around the corner. It's a corner store. So it's a sign in the front and a sign in the side.
What size are those letters?
It's the same channel letters.
What size do we have?
So that exists today?
And there's 16 inches and they'll stand any kind of, you can throw out there as well. We've done it for, let's see, in town, we've been in the same location for 46 years.
But that sign exists today, right? It exists today. That sign is in place.
Yes, the sign is in place. Yes.
So I'm not sure what we're reviewing and approving.
Can tell you what I want.
I'm looking at Google Earth, December 24. So it's been-
2024?
Yeah, 2024. So I'm not sure what the application actually is for.
Has the sign been up since 2024? It has. When was the sign put up? When was the sign installed on the property?
Probably about 3 months ago.
A year and a half.
So they're legalized.
A year and a half. Okay,
Or at least.
at least. Council,
So what happened that brought you here today? Since your signs are, what,
This is supposed to sign like all time.
yes,
This is sign for what?
yes.
It's also supposed to see it's gonna be taken. The sign says sign for all time.
Did the applicant receive a violation from? You have never received a violation from the building department.
Say, I'm gonna say something.
So what was the reason why you decided to submit this application to the court?
Or a sign that's been there for over a year.
Well, like, it's a sign for, it's a store, so So they can check store. Sometimes they will see say that sign on sign. That's what the
Who's the somebody?
city. So
That's the question that we're trying to resolve, or you issued a violation.
Were you served some type of notice
By the
from the
city.
city? They give you some documents, some paperwork? Okay, so you want the proof, you want yours, okay,
Basically, that's it.
okay. Okay.
So does the sign, the sign meet the requirements? 16-inch letters are a bit large. I'm not sure what the requirement is. Do we know the requirement for the letters, this type of sign? So we look it up in the code. Huh?
Okay, it looks from the supporting documentation. This is 155 million.
Yes,
Okay, there is a plan sentence report,
great.
and there is an issue with the sign. It indicates on the plan examiner's report that is dated July 28th of 2025, that per section 267-76, it is a prohibited sign.
It is,
This sign is not permitted and must be approved by the ARB.
and then this sign is not permitted, no sign advertising show, is it because it's of the illumination? Indirect lighting of signs should not focus on adjacent properties. So it looks like your existing sign, doesn't meet the requirements, which is why you're here. And you're presenting the same sign that doesn't meet the requirements. You have to present a changed sign. You have to get new signage that meets the requirement.
Is there any reason you can't line the signs that exist?
I think the plan examiner's report gave reasons. And so you need to take a look at those reasons and have a sign designed, not installed, but designed and brought to us so that we can make sure it's within the requirements and then have it fabricated and installed.
And in those documents, does it specifically say what is the problem with
Yes.
the signs that they
does.
have?
It
So they'll
says right
know.
here.
Okay.
And they should have that. Do you have a copy of the, I'm sure, here, you can take.
I have a copy.
You have a copy? So when you make the corrections to the design, then submit the application to have us take a look at it. And,
What do you find is wrong with the sign?
I recommend you read,
They're 16 inches each,
yeah,
each letter.
I mean, off the top of my head, they're a bit large, but here's what I'd like for you to do, because we have, quite a few applicants waiting.
Okay,
These are your issues.
okay.
Have someone take a look
I
at those
will
issues
do that, sure.
and come back to the board.
All right, thank you.
My pleasure. Thank you. Will you follow up with this, John? Do you have questions? Yeah, you have to you have to get a sign that is, appropriate. And that
You have to,
paper,
you have to propose a sign.
Yeah.
that is appropriate.
yes, that's what I should say. And that sign is what you have existing, and the reason that you're here is because it's not appropriate. And that letter, that plan examiner's report that I just shared, it has the reasons why your signage is not appropriate. Okay, well, I just gave it to him. Okay, Maria, we'll have Maria follow up with her. Can you follow up with this applicant?
You spoken with Carlos? Carlos is the one that routinely read this and been able to interpret that. So I'll follow up.
William,
Yeah,
so that they're clear.
He does, you know, it's not good. I'll talk to him. Thank you for letting me know that. Okay.
Thank you, have a good night. 3.4366 Hawthorne Terrace. In the single-family residence district, the board has received an affidavit of signed posting. The owner is Rosa Lungisa, sorry if I butchered that, represented by Peloton Aguilar, the design professional. The applicant is requesting a certificate of appropriateness to make a series of alterations to the existing two-story single-family residence, including an alteration to the front. Excuse me, yes. Including, where was I? Make a series of alterations to the existing two-story single-family residence, including an alteration of the front platform, an alteration of the existing sidewalk to align with the updated entry configuration, installation of a new concrete handicap ramp on the south side of the building to enhance accessibility, the addition of a railing to the existing rear porch for safety and consistency with the homes. Architectural character, the pavement of the driveway to improve visual quality and durability. And the installation of new awnings to the side and rear facades to provide weather protection and introduce a visually balanced exterior element.
Good evening.
Good evening.
It's Tom Abdullah, for the owner. This project right now, the house is, one story, the existing building really has, stucco, covers. So now what we're trying to do is we need 4 components to it. One, the front. That large, a little bit. There's a ramp at the rear. That shows the building and here the railing. Then there's a ramp that is provided a railing to it also. And then there's a bay window side. So that's all we have really mostly, except that there's a driveway that is really part of the building department should leave with that, as well as the side here. Sidewalk, just the front into the side of the street. So now, the ramp, we can go back to the ramp. We provide metal. That the car owner has the mom is coming here, place. They need the ramp.
side, your rear, has a falling steep slope with a standing seam design on it. Then we have the bay window, right, as I mentioned. The other items that we have, some stairs for the man, for the baby. If you have any questions, let me know.
This letter, do you want to read that letter to record?
Sure, right, so we got one, public comment. Okay, so, dear board members, please let it be known that, like most of the community, we are strongly opposed to building an enormous permanent concrete ramp in front of the 366 Hawthorne Avenue home. Note that due to the proposed location, the negative impact of permanent concrete structure like this affects everyone in the community, not a specific homeowner. Please note that the issues outlined below also apply to any other requested additions that seem to be institutional or commercial in any way, including sidewalk alterations. The reasons for the community opposition are as follows. Number one, zoning non-compliance. Number two, drainage and floodwater impact. Number three, neighborhood character. Number four, property value impact. Number five, there are no disabled residents at this property requiring this feature, and the front and rear entrances already support ease of entry by disabled persons. So then the letter goes to explain each point. One, zoning noncompliance. This home is zoned as R1 4.5 residential. This home is on a corner lot. Section 267-13 of the code governing front yards does not permit a permanent obstruction exceeding 2.5 feet in height to be built within the triangle extending 40 feet on each side from the intersection. Number two, drainage and flood water impact. A large concrete structure like this will increase runoff and potentially overwhelm the storm drain at this location. It can also potentially direct water onto neighboring properties. This neighborhood is prone to flash flooding each year, and we need to minimize anything that adds to this problem. A small metal, plastic, or wooden water porous ramp that can be removed by the homeowner easily would obviously make more sense. The rear entrance is more directly accessible from the homeowner's driveway and would make more sense for this. Neighborhood character. Mount Vernon is a city of homes. The residents of our community moved here because of its character. A large permanent commercial ramp is out of scale and inconsistent with neighboring homes. It creates a concrete visual barrier that affects the streetscape continuity. Again, why is it large and concrete? Property value impact. This is an R1 4.5 zone neighborhood. Architectural features that are commercial or institutional will negatively affect adjacent property values. Again, a more restrained, portable solution is available. Compromise is possible. There is no resident requiring a feature that assists the disabled. The front entrance is easy to enter at ground level. We know of no one who is not mobile. What then is the actual purpose of this large-scale ramp? Number six, environmental impact. When a new family moves into this house in the future, the ramp will probably be removed, causing noise and air pollution to the neighborhood. It can be difficult to dispose of concrete. It is unfair to push that burden on the residents of the community into the future. This homeowner has already poured concrete and built an unapproved massive deck last year in the rear of the house. Additionally, they have 8 months of ongoing construction on the property despite a stop work order. In summary, this commercial style ramp is non-compliant, out of place, and inflicts tremendous negative impacts on a large group of people in the present and the future. In fact, if there is, in fact, a disabled person residing at this home, community residents are more than willing to work with the homeowner of 366 Hawthorne to find a solution that does not hurt anyone. A massive concrete structure is not that. And it's signed by 3 people, Fabiola Conrado, Andres Lasso, and A.G. Bell.
Thank you.
Sure.
Do you want to respond to any of those points?
So now, as far as the ramp itself, we need it for the mom to come in. entry that's in the rear. We're providing all the details that we have. Sure. Here, we're providing the window, we have a metal for the ramp. We're providing, the stucco in here, we have some the railing on the platform in the rear. Then we have some brackets that, for the awnings. At the door. So that's what we're showing, trying to make it look as nice as possible. The house itself is beautiful. Try to do that.
So is the idea that the entry from the ramp is through what I see identified as professional home occupation?
From the driveway to the walk. If we have to do it by the requirement, by ANSI requirement.
And then the house is entered through,
Pump is in here.
the house is entered from the ramp through the double doors that are shown going into the proposed professional home occupation.
So then I can speak to you.
It's on the side, it's on the side on that's.
I understand that your access, if you're coming in from the outside and you're going inside through the proposed professional home occupation area. Correct? There's no other way to get it. You're not using another door to get into the house once you get up the ramp.
Right, use the double section.
Okay. Because none of the doors are ADA compliant.
No. And actually, in the front, and for them to say, is that, you're right, for them to say they don't see anyone disabled, I did in Mount Vernon for the first. My mother's 88 years old and she had brain surgery. She cannot go in, and we have the ramp right now. And she has to do the wheelchair to go in.
So the proposed professional home occupation, I see that the square footage is 530 square feet on the plan. And you identified additional regulations for residence districts to accommodate a home office. I'm paraphrasing with that term, but item 5 of that 267-18 says no more than 25% of the floor area of one story of the dwelling or 500 square feet, whichever is less, shall be used for such purposes. But what I see is that you're using 530 square feet.
You have to talk to the building department.
Heights, square footage.
So you can go to the building department and decide. You're looking for guarantee.
No, and I'm giving you, you presented information that refutes the law. And you're asking us to approve something that is now a part of this. And it doesn't meet the law, doesn't meet the code.
I believe it.
I'm reading it. I've already gone online. It does not meet the code. You would have to get an exception. Do you have an exception?
Tell me what's the exception.
No more than 25% of the floor area of one story of the dwelling, or 500 square feet, whichever is less. You are exceeding at 530 square feet. And because that is not 25% of the house, that is half the first floor.
Again, we go back to the building department to decide if there's.
So I'm not able to vote on this tonight because the information that's been presented isn't legal. It's not compliant. Well, you're asking to put a ramp that leads into a space that is not compliant. So no.
I'm sure you looked at it, whatever you have to look.
You put it on drawings.
Is there a planning science report in the packet? Did the building department take a look at that notation? Obviously, they could have perhaps made help.
Portable ramp not work? The portable ramp, you know, you collapse them, you take it
There's
in,
one there already.
and that doesn't work for your mom?
We don't have a flexible one.
Is there any reference to what? The discrepancy in the square footage and that the ramp leads to this area?
The issue as raised by the commissioner is relevant to here's a plan examination report, and I don't know if you've had an opportunity to review it. The plan examination report is not going to sufficient detail with respect to dimensional requirements that need to be addressed in your application. Until that's done, I think sufficient good architectural report is short. You may have to seek a variance, and if you are seeking a variance, then obviously the recommendation from the architectural review board at this point would be, as I said, pretty short.
When we look at this, plan examination report, that allows us to rotate, which is a minor application itself. And this is how we, and I'm sure we can go back and take a look at the building department.
I think, Tom, that there's probably just an oversight that, you know, puts you in this kind of pickle. And council has given you, obviously, the pathway to resolve this is to go to the building department in regards to this particular area of the house and the square footage and get that sorted out, and then come back to our board for the details that you're applying for. And I'm sorry that.
So this is your own part. That almost like told me. Get in, it's very, very high. So then we need to work on that. We have to break that down. In the front, the tank is also broken. So the city came in.
Yeah. And is there such, there's no part of this application, we can't even address the application because of the issue.
And most of this is very, already.
That's the building department to do.
Yeah.
I'm just saying, but what
Yeah.
the rent.
No, that's
Yeah.
fine, but it's.
And the building department came and they looked around.
Yeah.
Yeah, he came and looked at.
Tom will sort out that particular square footage issue. And then I believe, is there, can we give them a little guidance though, with respect to what they are applying for, the ramp and the neighbors' concerns?
So my first suggestion is that you speak with your neighbors and ask for their input, whether you like them or not. They are your neighbors. And I think hearing them out and having a direct conversation, let me finish, please. I would also suggest with something like this that is not, doesn't adhere to the style of the architecture to the property itself, that you strongly consider landscaping, put it quite bluntly, to hide it, and put basically gonna pay attention. I can't comment on the demolition later in the future, who knows what it's gonna hold. And that's gonna happen regardless of your ramp being demolished. We're gonna have construction and demolition in the city. I'm not a fan of demolition, don't get me wrong, I don't like to do that to the environment either. But I think that is a minor point, but I think if you look at this and look at how to integrate it into the visual of the property with the house, I think landscaping is a softer touch to it, because it is, I mean, concrete is hard. It's a, you know, it's a harsh surface, and I think this is a residential area, and I put in self-planted native, by the way. It might be. That's fine, but I think you should make that part of this application.
Because it will mitigate visually what the neighbors are concerned about. And so, you know, again, I asked to offer some suggestions that could move this forward, so you won't come back and then us, you know, make those suggestions then. So this will support your effort. This meeting, doing some plantings, have a landscape articulation in front of that concrete area, so that, you know, perhaps the neighbors will be like, yeah, that mitigates it, we don't have to see it, it's better, it's compromise.
Oh, okay, let me explain something. The three neighbors, right? I can say this, and I think the council before this. They're just against. Yeah, I'm just saying, they're just against whatever we're trying to, and we were here. It doesn't look bad. Doesn't look bad. It's on the side, that's not look bad. It's actually bringing more value to the neighbor. It's not that concrete as you're saying, it's not like that.
I'm offering suggestions
Okay.
based on those comments and trying to help you
Yes.
make this work for everybody. I'm a big plant guy, by the way, so I love to see plants.
Absolutely, we're putting a plant, and the plant's right next to it, there's grass right there. Right there, there's grass.
So yeah,
Well,
consider doing some
shrubs.
shrubs to soften the
Absolutely.
concrete.
Oh,
And I think Tom knows what it is, you know what it is. But is there anything else that might support their effort?
Because we have other things that need to be done, we need to change.
Okay.
We need to fix the front steps that are too high, it's the same application, way too high.
In regards for the grant itself, can we look for the rest of it that you accept?
Yeah.
You've made it part of this application.
That was what else did.
I will turn to council because I thought we went through this already. The application.
I guess my main concern is that the plan examiner's report is somewhat non-specific, to put it mildly. They're asking the architectural review board to issue a certificate of appropriateness, and yet they haven't reviewed the application and sign off on whether or not there are any dimensional requirement issues that this application is liable for. So my position again is that it's premature. I don't even know if this applicant has to go to the planning board. Is this application before the planning board as well? Okay, because one of the big concerns here is that based on the commentary tonight, we obviously have an issue with the site plan. The commission has raised the fact that the unattractiveness, for lack of a better word, of what you're proposing to install, since it's not a typical accessory feature of a house in a residential neighborhood, that the board would more likely than not be able to better evaluate your application. If you have a site plan, if you at least can demonstrate to the board that you've taken into consideration that it might be somewhat unsightly or not appropriate for the specific neighborhood or block that this property is sited. And it would be to your benefit if you were able to at least provide the board a site plan that shows that this property is screened. But before we even get to that point, I think it really is inconsistent with the process for the plan examiner to send this application to the architectural review board, and you haven't even finalized and gotten approval on the dimensional requirements. I think you need to do that before you can come to the board, so that the board has a clear sense of how the spaces are going to function at the site.
And that it's compliant.
And that it's compliant.
Let's address those things. And,
I think that's put the cart before the horse.
yeah.
Right? I think the board has made it very clear to you that you're not comfortable reviewing this application, and certainly it's not in the board's interest to review the application piecemeal. Right? You need to meet with the building department, resolve the issues on the dimensional requirements with the plan examiner or with the building inspector. Once that's finalized, we can then resubmit your application for consideration to the board.
Well, I understand, I believe, the only thing is that how long is it gonna take?
Well, that's a function of how aggressive you are with the building department. But as far as the board's concerned, they meet next month. So if you can get it next month, then it can be back on the agenda.
It took 2 months to get it.
You have the plan examination, so you have a document to work with.
We got the plan examination report.
Well, now the board is giving you instructions that you need to finalize the issues that are somewhat ambiguous. They're not clear, and the board is not comfortable with going through the deliberative process without ensuring that you're compliant with respect to the dimensional requirements that set forth in the code.
Wait until next month.
Yes. Yes. Hopefully we'll see you next.
We appreciate your.
Yes.
Very helpful.
Yes.
Thank you.
Okay, we're not seeing that.
Okay, we're gonna move on to the 767 South Columbus Avenue. In the Industrial Business District, the board has received an affidavit of signposting. The owner is South Columbus Realty, represented by Danny Corco. The subject property is on South Columbus Avenue. The applicant is requesting a certificate of appropriateness to improve the exterior of a existing Dunkin' Donuts building and associated signage. Please state your name.
I'm David Corco, Atlantis Management Group.
Hello, Danny.
So I'm here in front of you in regards to 767 South Columbus Ave. It's an existing Dunkin' Donuts building. Site was built back in 2015 or 16. It's gone through its phase of operation in the past 10 years. As every franchisee, they come across a phase of rejuvenation, aesthetics, upgrades, and I'm in front of you just because of that. Based on Dunkin's new logos and signage and aesthetics of the building. Some samples of some of the material that we're using for the exterior. And also a letter of the signage that's going to go on the building. But I'll start off from the exterior building. It's all fiberglass cement with a gray stone color.
sorry, this, this is a BP station?
No,
Yeah,
no, it's
next-
the Dunkin' Donuts
next
next
to
door. So we're actually the property owners of both locations. And the next application is also
For the mobile.
for the more.
Gotcha, okay. Oh, I see.
So the first application is with Dunkin', the second is for yes.
Okay, okay.
So the next is James Hardy. President. It's based on specs to next gen. Their the top portion is the design of a brown finish with a pink. And again, it's same panel. Different color. Then we currently have 4 signs on the building. One on the north, one on the south, one on the west, which is the front portion of the building. Met by green signs. One is going to the east village, which is facing. And then the north elevation, which is the front, and the Dunkin' logo cup, and go right up to the top, right corner. And the backing that the signage sits on wraps around the entire frame of the building. It's a composite exact material, leather. It's pretty much the full application of,
So it's just, sorry, I couldn't open the PDF, Will, by the way, that was in the link. Basically, it's going from Dunkin' Donuts to Dunkin'.
yes. So it's staying at Dunkin', it's not
See how
changing.
short, I abbreviated my own.
So it's just upgrading their image, that's all.
Okay.
Any questions or concerns? Yeah. Is there a motion to approve this minute?
I was like, hard coded.
All in favor?
Aye.
I was waiting for you to go ahead and let me read the, thank you. So many pages. Right here. Okay, the next public hearing is also, well, 759767 South Columbus Avenue. In the I Industrial District, the board has received an affidavit of signed posting. The owner is South Columbus Realty LLC, represented again by Danny Corco. The subject property, the applicant is requesting a certificate of appropriateness for the removal of the MID main identification display sign and the installation of a new MID sign at the above referenced property in accordance with current mobile Exxon brand standards, its late, and corporate signage requirements. State your name again.
Danny Corco, land dispenser.
Thank you.
Another, this is again part of the same brand specs and conditions that we have. We're replacing the light. The sign is digital. No flickering, no changing. Obviously, it's a better benefit for us in order to change pricing remotely and not having to go out to the sign and do that. So the sign is a steel structure.
Do you have images
Of the
of what you're putting in?
yeah.
So this is actually like the one on Brampton and Freeport?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
are you gonna see existing or?
No, I
Yeah,
got
okay,
Google
great.
Earth pulled up.
So that's, yeah, that's that. And again, we're implementing on the Dunkin' property, we do have a standalone sign for Dunkin', we're implemented it into this sign, eliminating that standalone. So it will be combined together, as you see on the proposed rendering in the bottom, we have, two Dunkin' in the shop.
Any thoughts, questions, concerns? Is there a motion to approve as submitted? Second. All in favor? Aye. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Have a good night.
You too. Next item is a new public hearing, 3.7, 408 point, I'm sorry, 408-412 South Seventh Avenue in the RMF 6.75 multifamily residence zoning district. The board has received an affidavit of signed posting. The owner is Nelson Baroa, and is represented by Shaheen Badali. The applicant is requesting a certificate of appropriateness to construct 6 new 3-story attached dwelling unit townhouses in one structure on the combined existing vacant lots. Planning board has assumed the role of lead agency and conducted a CEQA review, which resulted in a negative declaration on March 4th, 2026, ending the CEQA process. Please state your name.
Hi, my name is Kevin Bennett. Sean Badali, this application address to its place number. So as stated, we are proposing 6 new townhouses. The existing lot on South Third Street. The property will be sitting on about 10,500 square feet. The coverage of the building is about 33% of that, about 3,500. We do have the total impervious surface is about 60% of the lot area, so we have plenty of shape. 5 acres, slowly residential acres, examples. We have plantings in front of the property here, and some along the side of the side, and then there is kind of small area for each kind of separate fence in between. Lower floor has a garage, 2-car garage, which is where the access was coming right away. It's 2-car driveway, so parking is lined up.
Tandem.
Area.
Tandem.
On each unit, it's identical layout for each unit, so faces this. Yes, lined up. And then on the first floor, we have 1 bedroom, front facing, unit bedrooms. We are using brick and stone here, show a better rendering. So the front, we have sections of brick here, and then on the left side here, it's all faces, it's stone here, and portions of, finishing on the front, it's stone, and then the opposite side, on the left side, it's brick, as well as a bare pockets, brick here. Not samples, it's relevant. We have plantings in the stages, we have some downwood in the front, we have some pollen as well, and flat foot here.
No.
Front city as a just.
Please don't. No. Those are invasive, they are easily diseased, and they're pretty, in the first 5 years of their life, and that's why they were in all the suburban development, because they made lollipop lanes all around, and then the disease hits. They're not native, no.
Okay, so we'll look to take.
Huh? The Bradford pear. It will give you more trouble than you will admit. You just shouldn't plant it. It's disease prone, and it grows out. Like I said, the little lollipop that you see with white flowers, yeah, that's for the first 5 years. After that,
Don't mind me asking what plant you referring to?
the Bradford pear.
Bradford pear.
Pear. I mean, there's, I'm going to contradict myself a little bit, but ginkgos, there's a columnar ginkgo that would scale-wise work well here, because they grow about 15 to 20 feet high. But they have naturalized in North America. But you could do the smaller, there's a maple that is also not the full size that is native. Look around. There's one that I've seen that is, you don't want anything too tall, because you don't have the room this way. You need something more columnar, and that's what you have to look for. And I would definitely get something deciduous, so that you have light coming in the winter. Exterior lighting, what's being planned?
Yeah, this is the exterior lights.
No, in the front, on the street.
Here? You want us to step or?
Yeah, I mean, I'm sorry, I didn't catch it.
Yeah, we do have some light at each, in front of each door here, that illuminates the sidewalk.
So it's a sconce above the door?
Yeah,
or
it's
the wall mount? You have that?
Yeah, we have this better, but this is so the page is not crazy.
Oh, here we go. They're not really decorative, more fun.
Breaks down also look at one here. Let's look at it.
No, it's fine. Yeah,
Okay.
So I'm gonna make you hold it.
Yeah, but the idea is to have not one particular store, but just all of them kind of blending, yeah.
Should we look for something a little bit more decorative as far as the
The light.
light above
Sure,
the door?
yes, absolutely.
I was actually gonna be okay with this, but now that I see these two together, there's a
Yes, so disconnect,
rusticness
yeah.
that I think it deserves something that, has the character. It's very functional. Yes,
Yeah.
yeah, but above the front door. Just something, I mean, I think the concept of doing a wall mount is fine.
It's just the style that's
the style.
selected.
Because you've got these wonderfully rich materials that you're.
And then it's industrial, kind of.
I think there's a better option. Yeah.
Any other?
The window frames are what color?
Gray, they're gray,
Okay.
yeah, gray.
You want to see the red?
Oh, sorry.
The gray PVC trains around the windows. It's not, you know, it's a very, yeah.
Could you
Point out which brick are you?
No, it's going to be a blend of.
Oh,
It's
blend
gonna
of
be a
wall.
blend.
Yeah.
And the roofing?
And the door, the front door itself.
Yes, fiberglass door. So. The roof being like this right here, second to last thing. Yes.
Very earthy. I mean, I do like this combination. But it is sort of starting to gray itself
Okay, all
out.
the
Is there any consideration for doing a closed door? Like red or green or, sorry, I don't want to pick. But I just think there's an opportunity there to get a little bit of punch without knocking somebody out, so to speak. Just something to think about. I'm not opposed to the gray. I'm just thinking if it was.
I think it, when it's, look at the individualities of all the buildings.
That could
Six
be,
buildings.
that could be
If you
interesting.
notice, you know, what we've done with this palette is we got the rough against the smooth, you know,
Yeah.
that kind of strand.
Yeah.
Actually,
And I personally, I like that style of window with the corners, because I think it gives character without losing.
yeah, we're not making it too modern, but still giving it an aesthetic
Yeah.
that's a bit more,
Yes, yeah. But I think
a bit more human scale.
if you have a front door that someone smiles when they walk in, obviously to go home,
That will go with the lighting that you're gonna.
and would go
Yeah.
with the light. Yes. No, I love it. This is very nice. I like this.
You want, any other comments? Thank you. Do you want to summarize the conditions?
Okay, sure. So, I was start with plantings.
Okay.
So the, garage repair plantings must be removed from the site plan, and replaced with native, desire a more decorative, light fixture over the front door. If the, front doors could be colored, just to diversify the color palette.
Now, the door, you're asking for the color from all, like, so it's a brighter color, maybe say, oh, you want this.
Oh, no, I might come home late one night. Be like, door number 1.
Well, you might get lucky.
Or unlucky, you never know.
Yeah, that's actually a really good question. Part of you, you don't want to necessarily see a cornucopia of colors,
But
but
then again, if they're all in the same value,
yeah,
or is it,
do you
yeah,
see,
but
yeah.
in a different color, and I think as long as they work. Yeah.
Yeah. We add color to that, okay. Okay.
I like the material.
Is there a motion to approve with the conditions set forth?
Make a motion.
Yes,
Go ahead.
I will make a motion to approve.
Is there a second?
I second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Thank you, goodbye.
Thank you.
Thank you.
So, Bradford pear trees should not be planted because they are highly invasive, structurally weak, foul smelling. What's my problem? Anything native. Anything native, because then you have less to worry about to care for. Oh, well, plants that are indigenous to this region. Okay. But because of the limited space you have, you gotta be careful with anything that's got a wide branch. And I know that the column or ginkgo, because I bought one for myself, I had 2 actually in my yard, because I didn't have room for it to do its thing. And I know there's other trees out there that are. These guys.
I said, Mr. Warren, good to see you.
But I stay away from like the standard maple.
These homes are going to be meant for sale for a certain type of customer. That is, deliberately getting into a basement.
Yeah.
Deliberately, you read very carefully your chart, right? And one of your challenges in Vernon is the income levels of your residents. And in order to increase the average income of your residents, it has to happen over time. You have way too many studio apartments. And so as a result, we thought, if we can build these so that people there have to make between 160 and 200,000 a year to buy.
And they're gonna have,
Conventional
they're
world.
gonna have some planning and they're gonna
Then,
have acre
we're gonna do several.
I'm saying, what?
Did you, okay.
And it's not gentrification, balancing, and there's lots of people that are already living off of it before too.
Absolutely, absolutely. And they're lovely. I actually really like them, because I also love their style.
Oh, you're gonna see a lot of us in town.
Okay.
Give us 1 second, we're gonna adjourn the meeting. Is there a motion to adjourn the meeting?
I make a motion to adjourn this meeting.
Is there a